Thanks for joining us. Now, the Coordinating Director of the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, Chief Superintendent Osua Treme, says her outfit is doing all within its means to stop the menace of defilement and rape. In an interview with Joy News shortly after familiarizing herself with the newsroom, Chief Superintendent Osua Treme stated DOVVVSU will soon complete a facility that will provide all the services needed by victims of domestic violence. She added the one-stop facility will help stop the usual frustration of victims narrating their ordeals to various service providers at different locations.
We have a project at the Ghana Police Headquarters that we will need your support in one way or the other to finish the project. It's been roofed, but we need to finish up. It's a one-stop shop where you have a police station, you have a shelter, you have a juvenile cell, you will have doctors, so there's a place for a doctor and a nurse, so that when you come, and the social welfare as well, so that when you walk in as a complainant, as a victim, you don't have to be moving from one hospital to the social welfare to police. So the concept is that when you walk into the police station, we set down the police will be there, the doctor will be there, the social welfare will be there, so you tell your story once. You don't have to, because what is currently happening is that when you come to me or you come to the DOVVVSU, you tell your story, and the investigator will have to take your statement, and then from there maybe we have to refer you to the hospital. Then you go to the doctor. Then you have to start your story again. So you are reliving the trauma almost every 30 or 1 hour. We want to avoid that. We want to, and then the psychologist also will be there to also listen to you, so that when you walk into the doctor's consulting room, after you finish with the police, you don't have to repeat your story with the doctor. He knows what what he needs from you. He's already taking the notes, and then when you go to the psychologist too, he knows your story again, or she knows your story again. You don't have to start the story. So we have plans in place. The police administration has plans in place. They started the project, it's up to roofing level, and then we need support in that regard.
Hear the stories of these victims. The next thing would be, prosecution. And I mean, between 2015 to 2016, about 1,900 cases reported. We are told by DOVVVSU that 1,100 of those cases are yet to be resolved. Clearly, it tells you that prosecution really is not going as fast as we would want it, to be. What would you say is actually delaying, the prosecution of some of these offenders?
The reasons vary. They vary. The reasons vary. Some of them are as a result of frustrations from the victims themselves. Some too, if you are going to court, is about evidence, I always say. So if you haven't built a good docket, you can go to court. If you go to court, you will know with a very bad docket, you go in and it's going to be judgment in favor of the verdict in favor of the accused person. So sometimes we are unable to collect evidence, not because the police is unprofessional, no, but because the evidence is just not there. And there are times that some evidence it takes time to get evidence, because some people commit offense and they are able to clean the evidence, so it's difficult or hide evidence, so it's difficult to get evidence. So sometimes about evidence, sometimes to the problems with victims and complainants. When it comes to defilement, they are all kids. So it's an adult that has to push. And the adults might be the mother or the father or the uncle or the auntie. And sometimes they get compromised. So they go in for monies and they tell that, oh, madam, if I don't settle this case, they will think that I'm the bad person. The whole family is not talking to me. So it takes parents who are courageous and determined to seek justice for their children to assist us in prosecution. So now if we don't get such people, there are times that they move out. Accused persons or suspects are able to relocate them, and they throw away their chips and it's difficult to trace them. We don't even know. And in such instances, it will be on our record and we are unable to go to court and prosecute. You might not have the enough evidence, because sometimes you even give them the medical form and they go to the hospital and they never show up. Not necessarily because they don't have money to pay for the medical bill, but they also use it as a bait, to get to the suspect. So there are varying reasons. But we decide to sit now and take a look at it and see how best we can increase the prosecution of defilement and rape cases in Ghana.
We'll be wrapping up with this shortly, but there are some who have also raised concerns about the breach in standard operating procedures by some police officers who handle some of these cases. I mean, a case in point is what the alleged, defilement of a girl in Asena Dintem, where the police officer actually did not report to the crime officer. So it looks like they really did not follow up until the issue was brought to, to light. Following a standard operating procedures, I know recently you launched a book, about 5,000 of them. How are we going to increase education, for police officers especially who handle some of these cases?
Oh, as I indicated earlier on, internal training is ongoing. Now, you have training, but you might still have, it's a human institution, you might still have people who still go ahead and misconduct themselves in one way or the other. So what we encourage people to do is that when you have a policeman or a police officer who misconducts himself or herself, you only need to report to the superior. So, for instance, if you come to DOVVSU and you have a personnel there who is misconducting himself, you have my number, or you walk to the police station, you talk to somebody higher than the maybe the district commander or the district coordinator. And there are internal mechanisms which people are not aware. Maybe people are not aware. The police administration has internal mechanisms to discipline officers who misconduct themselves in the line of duty, to the extent that we can even take, there can be criminal charges leveled against them if it borders on criminality. So on one hand, the police administration is training personnel to work professionally, and when there's a gap, when they get the training, they still go ahead to misconduct themselves, then there are internal disciplinary action against them. And if it goes beyond internal disciplinary action, they are even sent to court for prosecution.
Now, the figures on defilement alone, they are shocking. Sometimes, I look at the figures and I go like, wow, this is happening, in Ghana. As I mentioned to you earlier, in 2010, I mean, more than 900 cases, 2011, more than 1,000, up to 2015, we had more than 1,000, cases. And this is a small country, we're recording this. There's some who are saying that one of the ways that we can, nip this in the bud, stop this completely, is to, make legislation stronger, make the punitive measures, bite harder. And then also we should get an offenders list, because in other countries, when you go, there's an offenders list. The moment you are convicted of raping or defiling a child, your name goes into a system, and everywhere it follows you and scars you for life, just like you also scarred the life of that, innocent child. Are we looking at getting to the stage where we'll have an offenders, register to serve more as a deterrent?
Well, let me touch on the law. When they say we need an effective law, I really cannot understand what the person is talking about or what people are talking about.
They want us to treat, rape or defilement just like we treat, murder, for instance, because for defilement, I know the person cannot go to jail for more than 25 years or for more than 25 years.
Defilement is between 5 years and 25 years. Exactly. And then rape is 7 years to 25 years.
Exactly.
It's a first degree felony.
Yeah, but there's someone saying that 25 years, really, the person can go in there and come out. So,
well, as for changing the law, making the law harsher, it has to go back to Parliament. It's the lawmakers who will have to decide.
Would you push for that?
If we have the capacity, it has to go through the police administration. We can, yes, through AG's office before we can. So if we get the needed, of course, civil society can petition. The multimedia can petition. You can send in petition and say that, we need to have the punishment for defilement and rape. We need to have, it should be harsher than what it is now. And then I'm sure they'll take a lot of things into consideration. Probably the Parliament can take a look at the law as it stands now and decide. But in the meantime, we need to work with what we have. Yes, and that's what we are trying to do.
We'll start that petition very, very soon. But finally, before you go, I'm sure you want to say something.
Well, we just want to take this opportunity to wish all Ghanaians, DOVVSU and the police, on behalf of the DOVVSU and police administration, to take this opportunity to say Happy New Year to all Ghanaians and to the public, because there are people living here who are also not Ghanaians, to the public in general, and to inform you that the fight against domestic violence cannot be done by the police administration alone. We need the collaboration of civil society, we need the collaboration of corporate world, we need the collaboration of the average man on the street, and also to inform perpetrators that this is a crime. To rape somebody or to defile somebody is a crime that you can go in for 25 years at most, and at least 5 or 7 years.